Okay, so we've got Mr. Patrick Summers on the line. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, DJ Squeak, very, very well, and you?
Cool, man. For everybody that's listening, there's a little bit of an in joke. I don't know if you want to explain that to our listeners and a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, sure. So, Aidan and I met years ago. It was such a cool story. We had a demo song, and I wanted to just give it a spin and see what people thought of it, and went to GQRadio where DJ Squeak was a DJ there as well, and basically met there, and then afterwards used to meet at Mercury and the Shack and all that. And we were playing a gig there once, and the crowd wasn't as enthusiastic, and we played pretty aggressive, very excitable. We used to call it party rock back in the day. The crowd wasn't quite as enthusiastic because there weren't that many of them on this one particular night. But a lot of the other musicians were there. So in order to try and make the applause sound a bit better, I screamed into the microphone to try and make it sound more fun. And then at the end of the gig, all the bands came down. We came down to sort of go and sit in the bar. And all the other bands that were there were laughing, and they all raised their hands into the air and went, So it became a national greeting between friends and fellow musicians.
Well, that's actually really important, because for a muso or any creative person to actually set a trend is really cool. So well done.
Yeah. Well, we still use it to this day. When my brothers who were playing live with me back then as well, when we talk to each other on the phone, and my friends, that's our standard greeting, and then we start talking in normal English after that.
That's also our standard greeting. Hence the in-joke. There we go. So I tell you what, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself. I mean, they know you're a muso, but explain to them a little bit about your background.
Thank you. Yeah, so awesome. Well, I as a very young human, I can remember these.
At least you said human.
These people came. Yeah, exactly. I think I was about maybe 7-8 years old, and these people came around to the school. I think back in the day they were called K-Pab when I was in primary school, and they were playing theme tunes from all sorts of movies and things. And I was just so excited about music. I was like, this is the most exciting thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. And they said, would anybody like to do something? So I tried to play a trumpet. Of course, I had no idea what I was doing, so it was a complete fail. The school burst out laughing. And then a little bit later on, we had a school teacher. I was also maybe about 7-8 years old, and she was just kind of testing to see who was musical. And she played a tune, and then said, is there anybody in the class who wants to finish the tune? So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a bash. And of course, I did something. I made a couple of notes work together. But I realized that I really love putting notes together, and then eventually figured out it's really even better to put words. So class laughed again. But a little bit later on in high school, we did a show in high school, and a couple of people asked me to go up, and we did about 3 songs, myself and some friends. But the applause was like, thunderous. The people were sort of bashing. There was probably about 1,000 people in our high school, and like they were bashing the floor and clapping and screaming and everything. So I was like, wow, I like this.
This is what you want to do.
So this is what I want to do. Exactly. And to be quite honest, that has been my life goal. I absolutely just love writing music. I just enjoy, the idea of just capturing an emotion and sharing it and letting the world listen. And it's really nice when people love it as well.
That's awesome,
it's been such a great experience. And then, so I come from don't want to give my age away, but everybody will know, but I come from a day when they were just about finishing national conscription in the military. And I didn't really feel like, we had to do our normal exercises and all that, but I didn't really feel like fighting and all that. I'm a lover, not a fighter, in the words of Michael Jackson. So I joined the military band. And landed up, it was kind of difficult to get in there because you needed a music background. And I was more sort of like a folk rock musician, and they needed people who could march and play saxophones and all that type of thing. So one of the guys that told a kind of a mistruth and said that he could play saxophone, but he couldn't. And there was a spare glock. There was a spare glockenspiel there, and basically what happened is they said to me, "Listen, they're doing an inspection in 2 weeks' time. Would you like to join the military band?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to." So anyway, They got me in there, and I had to learn to play saxophone in 2 weeks.
Wow!
And I kind of got it right. It was good enough for me to pass to get in, and I did irritate a good couple of people in the process, because this was a broken old saxophone, alto saxophone. Any case, a lot of fun. But my main motivation was to get into what they called the civvy band, which was like the band that played local things, singing with guitars and drums, and the kind of thing that I was more used to. Yes. And so, I got in and met some absolutely awesome musicians along the way, really, really talented guys, and a few of them became really good friends of mine. And we, after that, we actually came in and reformed. Some of them were from Cape Town, and we reformed a band here in Cape Town. And then, started playing, getting gigs. We played back then Hard Rock Cafe Rondebosch, Hard Rock Cafe Sea Point, and several other venues that were going. It was just absolutely such an amazing time to be alive. And it was just kind of post the elections, and I think there was just a lot of hope in South Africa. It was just a really, really amazing time. And, we played mainly covers, and, what were popular covers at the time, and even some Depeche Mode and stuff. And then eventually what we started doing is just dropping an original in there. But we realized we realized this massive experience. Our bassist back then, he told the audience, "This is an original." And as he said that, everybody sat down. So we realized we'll never do that again. We'll just play the originals and just keep going. And if we did that, the people who were dancing, they used to dance on tables and all sorts of things. They just kept dancing. They didn't really know the difference between our original music and the covers that we were playing.
That's actually quite sad in a way.
Yeah. And I guess it's the way that the radio had programmed everybody, in other words, they said, "This song is good, so you can accept it." And if they say this song is South African, then maybe you got to think twice about whether it's a good song or not. And I think that was kind of the vibe back then. But I think we've just, in with the advent of the internet and promoters of South African music, we've just come so far. And I just want to commend you for some of the most fantastic interviews that you've had on your show, and for what you're doing for SA Music. It's absolutely amazing. And I have to tell you that interview with Clout that you had was like one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. Just absolutely loved that.
Cindy Alter, yes.
Yes, wow, that was incredible, absolutely incredible.
And I must say, it was an honor chatting to her, because like you, I've loved the band for a long time, and it's actually really cool. It was the same as when I interview. I used to write for, as you know, regional newspapers here, and I got to interview quite a few of the internationals as well, like Ed Kowalski from Live, and I think my favorite was Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden, who I interviewed as well. So it's it's been really, really cool. Yeah.
Well, so it's an honor for me as well. So this is really, really cool to be chatting as well.
Awesome. And let's go back to your music. I know you have, you said you had quite well, back then it's sort of an aggressive style, but you also have a lot of sort of chill stuff as well. One of the songs that we're going to play is a really cool laid back song, but we'll chat about that one later. But just a little bit about your style and also your influences.
Sure. So, I have to be honest. I've had a couple of people ask me, "Patrick, don't you want to write some sort of like political protest songs or some songs about the world or whatever?" And the honest truth is, I have written a couple, maybe, but generally I write about women. There's something magical about them.
I think you and every other male musician on the planet, I think.
So, I'd meet these girls and have this like fantastic sort of true love experience, and then I'd just feel super super creative and start writing these really, really cool songs. And some of them are really romantic, kind of commensurate with the setting that we were in. And then a little bit later on, I was like, this sort of early 1990s grunge came out, and I'm like, oh, I like some of the sound of this stuff. So we kind of took that sound as well and started incorporating that into a bit of what we did.
Nice.
But I just like any barring opera and stuff. And sorry to all the opera people, but I just, that's a bit too much for me. but any music that just carries a great tune, I love it. And I've got a bit of every influence that I can imagine. But main influences for me, I absolutely love the Beatles, and I know it's kind of a staple for everybody, but I just love the way they wrote. I love the melodies, I love the words, I love the harmonies. Just a very, very, very clever way that they put the instruments together. I try and stick to that. It's very real, and they recorded that stuff almost live. Okay, obviously they could drop in and stuff, but it was almost live. So they were really, really talented, and I just love that sound that they had. I also love the Police.
Yes.
That's also this very raw sound, that kind of British invasion, late 1970s music. And yeah, I was so stoked when I heard you speaking on the show with Cindy as well, that she played with the Police as well. It's like,
that's right,
blows my mind. Small world. Any case, absolutely. And a friend of mine introduced me to the Police, because I mean, this is way before my time. So I heard some of these bands, and I'm like, wow, this is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, I love them, and then somebody else introduced me to the Violent Femmes, which
yes.
was just like a completely different breakthrough in music. They don't even use a kick drum. They just, and the guy kind of sings a little off as well, but it just fitted so well for what they were doing. And again, just raw, pure emotion being expressed there. So yeah, somebody said to me, listening to my more sort of upbeat music, when I say upbeat, more sort of kind of alternative style, the Police, the Beatles, and the Violent Femmes kind of all melted together. And I had quite a cool experience some years ago. We were playing the Armchair Theatre, and there was a lady watching me, and she came to me afterwards and she said, man, I love the way you just hit that guitar. Because when I hit it, I don't play with the plectrum. I play that guitar with my whole hand. So
that's
like my whole life, energy, everything goes into the sound of that guitar. And it's a little messy and aggressive, but it sounds pretty cool for what we were doing there as well. And of course, my brother was playing drums as well for us, and he just hit everything. I don't know how people managed to hit as many things in such a short space of time, but yeah, it was such a cool sound that we came up with. So yeah, this first song that I'm very keen for everybody to listen to. It was a song about a girl that I met on the beach, and was literally one of these like idealistic romantic experiences. The place was called Onrus near Hermanus.
Oh yes,
and there were fires on the beach, and my friends and I, we all just went down there and we went to go meet, and everybody was like super friendly, and we just started, there were a couple of fires burning, kind of like bonfires, and we just went around meeting people, and eventually I met this absolutely stunning woman. And yeah, of course, after that I decided I had to write a song about it. And yeah, and some of the songs I started playing for other people, and they're like, wow, that's a really good song. So yeah, I'm going to start with that. The other story about me is I've had a couple of recording agreements when I was in Durban and here in Cape Town, but just never quite finished everything because we weren't quite sure if it was ready for the market.
Yes.
But we had a point now where we've done the tracking, and we've done quite a lot of work, and with a bit of hindsight, you can kind of go back and fix a vocal or two and fix a mishit drum and whatever. So all of that stuff, all of that material is in my possession. So I'm really sitting on 5 albums worth of unreleased music.
I was going to say, if you go back and you mentioned the Police, I mean that iconic song Roxanne that was sort of made them famous. Sting absolutely hated that song. He actually refused to play it at a lot of gigs. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's also one of my favorites of theirs. I absolutely love that song.
So, material-wise, it's always nice to go back. But I think also I find sometimes a lot of guys sort of overproduce and don't run with it, which is a pity because hearing songs that guys have done, when they started, and I've heard this from quite a few bands over the years, and then it's okay. Now it's polished, but it's sort of over. I preferred the original, if you know what I mean.
Yes, absolutely. And as you say that, I've discovered that I've been going through some of the music and corrected something, and then landed up eventually going back to the original. I'm like, no, I like the sound as it was recorded. It was really great. And then just a little bit of mixing and getting it to a level where it sounds radio ready. And then I'm just ready to release. I've got like a pent-up energy of 5 albums that I'm just really keen for people to hear from early 1990s right till now.
So when can we expect the full album, or are you going to release it sort of incrementally, or are you going to release an album like straight off the bat?
Yeah, so I did think about that, but it seems that you get a bit more traction now with the way that social media is working. A little more traction if you release one at a time. Yes. So I decided I'll start off with one of the slower songs where it all began, and then I'm going to try and release a fast tempo, sort of more aggressive type music that we did, and maybe alternate between that slow romantic happy songs and then sort of more excited romantic happy songs. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be just a lot of fun, and the cool part is now we're going to just start making music videos and stuff for the music, which was the super exciting thing that we wanted to do back then. But just being a musician and throughout the world. But I mean, I was even surprised to hear Cindy saying that she had to find work in LA. But we got to just keep working, keep going, and in order to fund our real passion, which is actually making music. So it's I suppose it just makes it take a bit longer for everything to get to market. But we're at a point now where, with technology and with especially with computers and things like that, the way they are now, we can produce content a lot easier than it used to be back in the day when you had to hire a humongous team and spend a huge portion of budget to make a video. We can kind of just make our own videos and do our own thing.
I was going to say, talking about the videos, and like you said, with that, a lot of the musicians can do it yourselves. I saw the song that we're going to play, the video that you did for that song. It's so cute. It's simple, but it's really cool. So I'm going to put the link to that on our social media pages, on our Rocket Reel page and group, and people can check it out.
Wow, that'd be awesome. No, really, and I had such a lot of fun doing that. I don't want to give too much away because it'll be kind of fun to watch it. But I did a bit of research about camera angles and everything, and I did a miniature version of it. And I won't say too much more, but it was really fun putting it together and trying to make the characters feel the music, feel the song, and kind of recreate the scene of what actually happened there as well.
Oh, that's so cool. Patrick, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans out there and, about your music, about you, and, about the video or anything for that matter?
Sure, with pleasure. Thank you. Well, first of all, it's been a while since I've been on the market, so some fans would be great. So I've got a couple of people who've just always been in my corner, and we just love whatever I do. But it'd be nice to get some new people to have a listen to what I do, and I'm quite happy for younger people. I've got some 18-year-old people, friends of my family, that have listened to my music and they absolutely love it. So I'm kind of excited to know that it's still relevant. What I did back then is still relevant now. So yeah, I'm excited. And then the other thing I just wanted to say to musicians, I'm a little bit later on in life. I think I still look young enough to do this, but in the words of Kylie Minogue, it's never too late. That, by the way, she was my high school crush as well.
Oh, there we go. Have you? I saw her sister live, but by the way, have you seen?
You're very lucky.
Have you seen Mick Jagger, by the way? So don't feel too bad, bud.
Yeah, no, I think, Mick's done very well, but I think I'm better off at the moment. I've got slightly more Dunedain looks than Mick, so yeah, there's still hope for me.
There we go.
I just, thanks for the question. I just think that it'd be really great. In today's day and age, they're uploading so many songs onto Spotify and whatever at the moment, and some of it's good and some of it's not great, but the market's crowded. So at the moment, if anybody who's keen to take a listen to South African music and sort of give it a thumbs up and maybe share with your friends if you like it, just say, hey, my word, this guy's from Cape Town, or this guy's from Joburg or East London or whatever, and just kind of promote SA music. What I wanted to say as well is what I found astonishing just listening to your show is that there's a whole lot of songs that I heard growing up that was so good that I didn't actually realize they were South African.
That's right, yes.
And only just through listening to your show have I realized. So there's just so much talent here, and has been so much talent here, and probably still will be lots more talent coming out of South Africa. It'll be really cool if we just promote each other and look after each other, and all the musicians have already made it. Help the new guys to find some space as well, so we can all enjoy each other's company, and we'll all promote each other. It'll be really cool.
That sounds really, really awesome. Patrick, it's been absolutely amazing chatting to you. And we're going to play the first track off your from your 5 albums worth. And I'm sure that our listeners will enjoy this track. Cheers,
thank you so much, Aidan. Keep well, man. Okay.
Cheers.